All right, this video is a continuation of rewriting polynomial expressions. And in this one, we are specifically going to simplify polynomial expressions using the distributive property. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of examples. All right, in this example 1, you can see here that it says 3 times 7x minus 4 minus x minus 8. So we have to use the distributive property. We have this 3 outside of the parentheses here, so we have to distribute the 3 to the 7x and to the negative 4. This minus sign can also be considered as distributive property because it's like a negative 1 that we have to distribute to the x, and then a negative 1 that we have to distribute to the negative 8. So let's start with this 3. All right, so we're going to be, again, multiplying or distributing the 3 to the 7x and a 3 to the negative 4. When we multiply 3 times 7x, we get 21x. And we multiply 3 times negative 4, we get negative 12. Or if you've thought of that as bringing down your minus sign, then it would be 3 times 4, which is 12. Okay? I like to think of it as integers. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Now we have this minus sign here. So this says minus times, let me show you what this looks like. So this negative is being distributed to the negative x, or to the positive x, and the negative is being distributed to the negative 8. All right? So when we're working that out, it's going to be minus x, so we can just write minus x, and then minus negative 8. Well, minus negative 8 is the same as saying plus 8. All right, so we have this term here, 21x minus 12 minus x plus 8. But we have like terms here that we need to combine. So our like terms, we have a 21x and a minus x that we need to combine. All right, so when we combine those, 21x minus x, we get 20x. And then our other like term, we have negative 12 and plus 8. And when we combine those terms, we get minus 4. So we have simplified this by using the distributive property, and we now have 20x minus 4. All right, let's take a look at this one, and this is more of a word problem. This said, written as a simplified polynomial in standard form, what is the result when 2x minus 8 squared is subtracted from 3x? Okay, so this 2x minus 8 squared is being subtracted from 3x. So let's start by writing that, and I've written that out here. All right, let me make that a little bigger. All right, so we have 3x minus, and then 2x minus 8 squared is 2x minus 8 times 2x minus 8. That squared, remember, tells us to multiply it by itself twice, okay? So we have to do this multiplication first before we start subtracting from the 3x, all right? So this is a binomial times a binomial. We can use our box method. So let's go ahead and come over here and let's work out our box method. Okay, so we have a 2x and a minus 8 and another 2x and a minus 8 we need to work through. All right, so to solve this first box, it's 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared. This section here is 2x times negative 8. That's negative 16x. And then here we have negative 8 times 2x, which again is negative 16x. And then finally we have negative 8 times negative 8. Well, 8 times 8 is 64, and since both of those are negative, that makes that a positive 64. Remember that we end up with like terms diagonally here. We have a negative 16x and a negative 16x. When we combine that, we have negative 32x. All right. So when we multiply this 2x minus 8 squared, or 2x minus 8 times 2x minus 8, we end up with 4x squared minus 32x plus 64. So now it's going to read 3x minus, and then in parentheses, 4x squared minus 32x plus 64. So now we have to use the distributive property again, where we are distributing this minus sign to each one of these terms. So it's going to be 3x minus 4x squared, and then minus negative 32x squared, and then minus 64. So let's go ahead and continue distributing. I'm going to rewrite this. So 3x and then minus 4x squared, and then minus negative 32. Minus a negative 32x becomes plus 32x, and minus a positive 64 is minus 64. Now at this point, we're going to do a couple things. We need to combine our like terms, and it wants it written as a simplified polynomial in standard form. Remember standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so we're going to start with our x squared. So we have this negative 4x squared, which is the highest exponent, 2. Okay, then we have a 3x and a 32x. Well, 3x plus 32x is 35x, so we're going to write plus 35x. And then finally, at the end here, we have a negative 64. I'll go ahead and just highlight that's negative 64, so we put minus 64. And that would be our final answer because it is written as a simplified polynomial in standard form. All right.